Hey everybody, welcome back to another class here at Shiage Do Martial Arts. This is, I think Thursday the 1st is when I'm recording this, or the 2nd, whatever day it is. So today, obviously, you guys are watching this video hopefully after you've done all your warm-ups. Make sure you do your stretches extra good today, because today we're going to work on some sparring combinations, and you're definitely going to want to make sure you're nice and stretched out. Okay, so if you haven't done that, pause the video, go back, make sure you get that done. For everybody else, let's move on. So, sparring combos. Just like the upper body and lower body basics, we have a set of sparring combos that we do, that we train with. You can do them on a bag, you can do them with a partner, or like me, today we're just going to do them in the air. So, there's 12 of them. Just do your best to follow along. Now, if you're a blue belt or higher, you should know these by number, okay? My hint to you is that they repeat in threes. So 1 is similar to 4, is similar to 7, is similar to 10. 2, 5, 8, 11, etc., etc., etc. So they repeat in threes, and you'll see that while we're doing it. Okay. So how we're going to do this today is we're going to do 3 for form and 10 full power. And you guys are just going to do them with me. I'm going to do them all nice and loud. We're going to get some self-defense in, and that should be it for today. All right, so let's get this started. So when I'm doing my sparring combos, what I want to do is be in a good fighting stance. All right, so like in basics, we're in a good Seisan stance or Haikudachi when we start. For our sparring combinations, I want to be in a good fighting guard. Okay, so my fighting guard is just a modified Seisan stance. We're going to start with our guard up. And then number 1 is the easiest one. It's my favorite one. It's just back fist, reverse punch. So it starts off back fist, reverse punch. Ready for form. 1, 2, 3. Full power. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ro, sich, hach, ku, ju. Good. Alright, so we're doing these with one side. If you want to pause the video and do them on the other side, that would be a good idea. What I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to switch back and forth between the numbers today, so that when we're doing the video, you guys can see them all. If you want to pause the video so you can do them on both sides, that's good too. Alright, so the next one is going to be a back fist, a slide up, side kick. Now when I do my slide up side kick, basically my feet are just going to come together. My knee still comes in front of me. I'm going to kick out straight in front of me. Okay? So for form, back fist, side kick. 2, 3. Good. With some power. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ro, sich, hach, ku, ju. Good. Number 3 is going to be the last of the easy ones. So it's going to be back fist, slide up, roundhouse kick. Now for this one, you want to aim for the body. Okay? If you're practicing for contact fights, you can practice leg kicks with this one. If you've got a heavy bag, leg kicks are a great thing to practice with this one. Back fist to the head, low kick. Just remember that if you're doing full contact fights, you got to do that body, the back fist to the body, because you can't aim at the head with your hands. If you're doing point sparring, and point sparring is what you're training for, it's going to be to the back fist to the side of the head, to the temple, a roundhouse kick to the body. This. Alright, let's do this. 1, back fist, slide up, roundhouse kick. 2, 1, 2, 3. 3. Good. Now let's add in some speed and power. And key eyes. Add some key eyes in there. Ready? Ich, this, ni, this, San, us, shi, us, go, us, roku, us, sich, us, hachi, us, ku, us, ju, us. Good. Now when you're doing these, you'll notice when I'm doing them, I hold my rechamber for just a second. That's going to be really important in about 5 or 6 more of these, okay? It's very, very important because you're going to throw more than one kick, all right? So now we're going to do number 4. So number 4 is like number 1. 1 is back fist, reverse punch. 4 is back fist, reverse punch, back leg roundhouse kick, okay? Now when I'm doing this, watch what I do with my feet. My back fist is here, my reverse punch is here. My feet don't move because I want to turn my hips. Then I turn my foot to do my roundhouse kick. Because I got to open my hips up so I can get that around motion going. Okay? So nice and slow for form. Back fist, reverse punch, turn your foot, back leg roundhouse kick. Ready? 2. And 3. With some power and ki. So let's do it. Ready? Ich, us, ni, us, san, us, shi, us, go, us, roku, us, sich, us, hachi, us, ku, us, ju, us. Alright, so the other thing I want to just note when we're doing this, keep your hands in a good guard. Even when I'm doing my roundhouse kick, notice that I keep my hands where they belong. Now in my fighting guard, I like touching my cheek with one of my hands so that I have that positive contact to remind me to keep my hands up. Okay? That's important when you do a lot of contact fighting, because the more you get kicked in the ribs, the more your hands will come down here like this. And taking one to the noggin sucks way more than taking one to the ribs. So I'd rather take a couple extra to the ribs and have my hand up here to protect my noggin. Okay? So keep those hands up. Alright? They don't have to be up touching you, but they do have to be up like shoulder height. Okay? So if you got somebody helping you out or watching you, or if you got a mirror where you're practicing, make sure you're paying attention to yourself, okay? And if I'm going too fast, pause the video. Do them at your speed. You know what you got to do, right? Watch me do them, see what I'm doing, and then pause it so that you have the time you need in order to do these, okay? Unfortunately, I can't see you, so I can't see whether you've got these or you're struggling, so you just got to kind of work with me a little bit on that, okay? Next one we're going to do is number 5. Number 5 is the same as number 2. Number 2 is back fist, slide up, side kick. So number 5 is back fist, slide up, side kick, spin, back kick. Alright, now, the way I do this, and actually I got to go this way this time. So my back fist, my feet come together. My side kick here, I'm going to step in front so that I can keep turning and look over my other shoulder to drive straight back. Now, this is really important. Okay, I'll turn this way so you guys can see it. When I set with my side kick and I put this foot here, when I look over my other shoulder, I need to keep my hips square to my target so that my back kick goes back. If I keep rotating, I go a little bit too far, this turns into a side kick. Okay? I don't want to do 2 side kicks. I want to do a spin back kick. Okay? So, we'll do this together. Nice and slow. 1, back fist, slide up, side kick, set, look, back kick. 2, back fist, slide up, side kick, set, look, back kick. Alright? For my upper belts, my green belts and higher, alright, notice that I'm doing my slide together as I'm doing my back fist. That's what I want you guys to do. If you're just learning this, back fist, then slide up. If you've done this before, back fist as you slide up. Okay? One last one. 3. Good. Alright, let's add some power and kiais. Ready? Ich. Us. Ni. Us. San. Us. Shi. Us. Go. Us. Rope. Us. Siege. Us. Hash. Us. Coup. Us. And last one, Jew. Us. Good. Very good. Alright, so again, make sure you turn it all the way so that those stay back kicks. And look, so you're not just kicking blindly behind you. Number 6 is going to be the same as number 3. So number 3 is back fist, slide up, roundhouse kick. So now we're just adding the reverse punch. So in this one, I'm going this way this time, back fist, slide up, roundhouse, reverse punch. Okay? This one works really well because you do that kick and they start putting their guard up and you punch behind their guard. A lot of people block across with the roundhouse, against the roundhouse, including myself. Okay? If I'm blocking across, I open that spot up. So I want to take advantage of that quickly. Okay? So, number 6. For form. Back fist, slide up, roundhouse, reverse punch. Ready? 2. 3. Good. Let's add some speed and power. Ready? Ich. Us. Ni. Us. San. Us. Shi. Us. Go. Us. Roke. Us. Siege. Us. Hatch. Us. Coup. Us. Jew. Us. Good. Make sure you're giving yourself enough space so that you can keep doing these kicks without shortchanging yourself. All right, if I get over here too close to furniture, I can't do my kicks anymore. Okay, so make sure you got some room. And if you got to move back each time, move back. It's not a big deal. It lends a little bit to situational awareness and spatial awareness. What's around me? Is it a kick shield that I can kick? Is it a couch that I can't? Is it my mic in front of me so that, you know, makes a huge noise when I kick it on accident? You know, that makes a big difference. Okay, so number 7 is going to be the same as number 4 with a little bit extra, okay? So these ones, 7 through 12, get rid of the back fist to start with, all right? So what these are going to be now is slide up low roundhouse kick, slide up high roundhouse kick, reverse punch. Okay? So, nice and easy. 1, slide up, kick, slide up, 2, reverse punch. Make sure you're getting your hips, right? You can see my belt swaying a little bit, right? Even if you don't put your whole gi on when you're practicing, put your belt on, because that's going to tell you if you're moving your hips when you should. Okay? Although I recommend your whole gi anyway, but, you know, it's just me. So, 2, slide, roundhouse, roundhouse, punch. 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Speed and power. Let's do it. Ich. This. Ni. This. San. This. Shi. This. Go. This. Seach. Us. Hatch. Us. Coup. Us. And you. Us. Good. Alright, so number 8 is going to be with a side kick. So, slide up, side kick, set, slide up, roundhouse kick, reverse punch. Okay? So this one's going to be slide, knee up in front, side kick here, slide, knee up in front here. It's pointing towards my bad guy. So in side kick, I point perpendicularly. In a roundhouse kick, I'm pointing at my opponent so I can get my hips around. So, slide up, side kick, slide up, roundhouse kick, reverse punch. And 3. Slide up, side kick, slide up, roundhouse kick, reverse punch. Let's get some speed and power going. Make sure you got a good workout, all right? This is supposed to be hard, especially after that warm-up. Ready? Itch. Knee. Us. Sun. Us. Sheep. Us. Go. Us. Rope. Us. Seach. Hatch. Us. Coup. Us. And you. Us. Good. Very good. All right. Number 9 is going to be the last of these with the set in between. And it's going to be slide up, hook kick, set, slide up, roundhouse kick, reverse punch. Okay? So if you didn't see on, I think it was Tuesday's class, we did a lot of time on hook kicks and crescent kicks. Alright, so a hook kick comes back and hits with your heel, like you're hitting around a corner. Okay? A crescent kick hits with the side of your foot and is more of a push. Okay? When you're doing these, it needs to be the hook kick. So, number 9. Slide up, hook kick, set, slide up, roundhouse kick, set over, reverse punch. Okay? 2, slide up, hook, slide up, round, reverse punch. And 3. Slide up, hook, slide up, round, reverse punch. Big, loud, key eyes, keep it strong. We got 3 more after this. Let's do it. Ready? Itch. Us. Knee. Us. Sun. Sheep. Us. Go. Us. Rope. Us. Seach. Us. Hatch. Us. Coup. And you. Very good. Alright, so as you're doing these, grab water, grab a towel, make sure when you're working out, you're not breaking stuff. Okay? Alright, so number 10 is going to be the same as number 7. So number 7 is slide up, low kick, slide up, high roundhouse kick, step, reverse punch. 10 is going to be without a set. So slide up, low, high, set, reverse. So 10, 11, and 12 are going to go a little bit faster. So try to stay with me, okay? So it's going to be slide up, low, high, reverse punch. Okay? This is why our chambers are so important. Slide up, low, high, reverse punch. And 30. Slide up, low, high, reverse punch. Okay? Keep them nice and strong. Ready? Speed and power. Let's do it. Ich. Is. Ni. Is. San. Is. Shi. Is. Go. Rope. Is. Siege. Is. Hatch. Is. Ku. Is. And you. Is. Good. So, number 11 is going to be like number 8. So 8 is slide up side kick, set, slide up roundhouse kick, set, reverse punch. 10 is going to be slide up side kick, reverse punch. I'm sorry, step up side, step up, side kick, roundhouse kick, reverse punch. Take this one slow, okay? If you do it fast, you're going to screw up your knees. Not like hurt them, but like they'll go wherever. It's not going to be a very good kick. So, nice and slow. Slide up, side kick, roundhouse kick, reverse punch. 2, slide up, side kick, roundhouse kick, reverse punch. 3, 4. Good. All right, let's do it. Speed and power. Ich. Us. Ni. Us. San. Us. Shi. Us. Go. Us. Roku. Us. Sichi. Us. Hachi. Us. Ku. Us. And you. Us. Good. Now, if you're having a real hard time with that, with doing the 2 kicks while standing up, then what you can do instead is step through. So step up, side kick, step, roundhouse kick, reverse punch. Okay? If you're upper belts, green belts and higher, really, I definitely want you trying to do 2 kicks at a time. Us. So make sure that you're doing that. And we got one last one. So the last one is going to be like number 9. So 12 is like 9. 12 is hook kick, roundhouse kick, reverse punch. So I like this one a lot because it's just fun to do. In sparring, if you catch somebody's hand, you can't really hold on to it. It's fun to think about doing it in self-defense. You could catch somebody's hand and do a hook kick, but they'll like hook over their arm and then kick them in the face. Is really fun for like a demo team to like show off something cool, but it's not going to be really practical. Honestly, I don't want to be wrapping my legs and my arms up and trying to like mess with my balance like that. It's not going to work very well, so I wouldn't even bother. But it is fun to try once or twice. So with this one, it's going to be slide up, hook, round, reverse punch. Okay, and I think it's this leg's turn. So slide up, hook, round, reverse punch. Slide up, hook, round, reverse punch. Okay, let's put some speed and power into this. This is the last one of these we're doing. So Pour whatever gas you got left on the fire and make it look good. Ready? Itch. Ice. Knee. Ice. Sun. Ice. Sheet. Ice. Go. Ice. Rope. Ice. Siege. Ice. Hachi. Ice. Cool. Ice. And big one, strong one. Two. Ice. Yeah. Let's do it. Good job, everybody. All right. Take a deep breath. Wipe your face off. Come on back. We're going to talk about some other stuff here in just a sec. All right. So now that you're all cooled off, and while you're cooling off, we're going to talk about something else. So 3 words that have a relationship to each other that I like to talk about are power, balance, and speed. Okay? These words are important because they work together and they matter. They affect how we do our karate. So power. Power, I define it as your ability to make something happen. All right? So whether that's pushing yourself up, whether that's pushing somebody away from you, whether that's using your voice and getting them to stop, or, you know, breaking a board or whatever it is, power is your ability to force something to happen, your will on something else, okay? In karate, we talk about power in terms of like physical strength, and force, okay, is a operation of force. Not the force like Star Wars, but force. Power is built by your muscle and your body mechanics, okay? I can't turn my elbow upside down like this and push and be strong. I just can't. All right, there's not much I can do. If you try to do a push-up with your elbows next to your head, it gets super difficult. Like if you can do more than like 3, I'll be impressed, because just body mechanics keep that from working. Same thing like muscles. If I do too many push-ups in a row, right, eventually I start getting the shakes, okay, as I'm going out, and that prevents me from doing more. Okay, so that's my muscle strength. So power is directly impacted by those 2 things. Now, power is also influenced by speed. Speed is how fast you do something, okay? There's a big difference if I'm throwing a punch here and here, okay? The example I give a lot is how much force, how much power does a train have moving at about a half mile an hour? It's got a lot. It's still going to move you out of the way, right? It weighs a lot, but it doesn't have the same impact as a train going 100 miles an hour, right? You get squashed by a bullet train, you'll be spread over like 3 weeks and you'll never know it. You get squashed by a train going a half mile an hour, you'll know it the whole time, right? That's the big difference between those. So if I throw a punch, I throw a punch, I throw a punch, I throw a punch, and a punch, right? I get stronger and stronger because they get faster and faster. The equation in physics is force equals mass times acceleration. The more I can generate more force by either making my arm weigh more, which is possible but not necessarily practical, or moving it faster. Okay? So speed, you can move faster by relaxing. Now here's where this is important. If we think about our upper arm here, all right? Your legs do the same thing, but we're going to do your arms just because they're easier to see. All right? I've got my bicep and my tricep. Right? My bicep controls pulling, right? Getting my fingers to touch my shoulder. My tricep is pushing. It's my muscle, or my fingers to push away from my shoulder. So if I throw a punch, I'm activating my tricep to launch my arm out. But then I activate my bicep to pull it back. Now, if I'm tense the whole time, then my bicep and my tricep are engaged, and I'm kind of just like forcing it out there, right? It's like taking a piece of wood with a piece of sandpaper on it and pushing it against another piece of wood. The harder you push down, the more difficult it is, right? So when I do my punch, it's the same thing. The more I push with that bicep, the more difficult it is to let my tricep do its job and push my arm out. So I need to relax, all right? There's a big difference, and that's part of the reason why, especially my upper belts, I tell you to focus on making your fist in the last 2 inches, all right? If my hand is loose, tight, all right? Now, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. I'm not going to be starting my punch with my hand open. I'm going to start it loose, like I can see through it, right? But it doesn't tighten until the last 2 inches. And what that does is it helps make it so that my forearm muscles, which also control how fast my arm can move, aren't engaged, they aren't tense until the last possible second, okay? So power and speed have a direct relationship to each other. The faster you are, the more power you can generate. The more muscular strength you have, generally, the faster you are. Now there's fast muscles and slow muscles, and we've talked about those, especially if you come to the conditioning class, right? Your fast muscles are what let you do back fists. Your slow muscles are what let you run marathons, okay? They're different, and you train them differently. If you do low weight and high reps, so if I put a 1 pound weight in my hand and I just did 1,000 back fists, right? That's a low weight and a high rep. I will get faster and faster because that builds fast twitch muscle. But if I put a 30-pound backpack on and I go for a jog, that's going to build slow twitch muscle. The difference is mainly, for instance, push-ups are a fast twitch muscle. I can do them quickly, but I can only do so many of them. Okay? Running engages my quads, which are slow twitch muscles, which allows me to keep going and going and going. And although your endurance might not be that high, I bet you can run longer than you can do push-ups. Now, the other component of this is balance. Balance is also very important for your force equation because it deals with which direction that force is going in. Here's what I mean by that. If I'm in a good stance, we'll call it a Seisan stance. If I'm in a good Seisan stance and I throw a punch, I can push against both of my legs in a forward direction, like I'm jumping forward, okay? That pushing is going to be how I resist when this hits, all right? From hurting myself and from actually being able to put all that force into my target. Now, if I lean back, right? So if I start in a hikadachi where I'm clearly leaning back and I throw this punch, I can't resist that as much because I'm already off balance, okay? So balance, I build with my stances, okay? It's my ability to stand upright, and I build it with my stances. For instance, we talk about this, right? I can stop a lot of force coming at me in a good Zenku stance, but it's hard to stop a lot of force coming at me in a horse stance, all right? So, with that in mind, if I'm in a Zenku and I throw a punch, I'm pushing with my back leg all the way from here. And look at this straight line that goes all the way to the ground, all the way out here. That's a very strong punch. There's a lot of force there, and it's all going that way, okay? Whereas if I'm in a Masubidachi and I throw this punch, right, I'm going to start leaning backwards to compensate for my punch going forwards, and that's going to take away some of the force that I can add to that punch, okay? So balance, power, speed. Power is how hard you can hit something. Basically, speed is how fast you can do it, and balance is how much of that force you can keep going in the right direction and not fall over, okay? So when you're doing this, think about that. Power, you build with muscle exercises, doing push-ups. Speed, you get by relaxing those muscles so that you let one do its job without another getting in its way. And balance, you build with stances, being in a good stance, all right? That's why I hark on you guys to make sure that you're in a good stance when you're doing your stuff. It's because if you're in a bad stance, you're not going to be able to take the power that you might be able to generate and give it to your target, okay? So think about that. Take a couple notes, throw it in your notebook. All right, make sure you understand that. So for orange belts and higher, or I'm sorry, advanced orange belts and higher, your job is to understand what those words mean and how they relate to each other. Okay, you don't have to get super in depth, but you have to know the basics. So last thing we're going to do today is some self-defense. So stick around, we'll do that. Okay, we're going to be doing a little bit of self-defense. Since I got Ty in here, she's going to be helping me out. Okay, so the ones we're going to be doing today are one-handed self-defense, which means I'm using one hand. Now, I might be using one hand for a couple reasons. The first one is maybe I hurt my other hand. If I punch something real hard and I break my knuckles, or somebody punches me, right, I don't want to keep trying to use that same hand necessarily. The other option is if I've got something like in that hand that I need to protect, I need to be able to do one-handed self-defense, right? So if I got my sweet football that I can't let go of, right, I gotta be able to do something with that other hand, okay? Or my carton of eggs. Don't be stealing my carton of eggs. I need those. They're liquid chickens and they're delicious. All right, so the first one we're gonna do today is gonna be one that a lot of you guys have seen before. It's my paint defense, right? So punch this time is gonna come in solar plexus. What I'm gonna do is palm down, right? I'm gonna keep my hand down here like I'm painting the fence and come up kakuto. Now if I do have my other hand, or just as a good concept, you want to make sure you got your other hand up in a guard. All right, there's no good reason that your hand shouldn't be up if you're doing this. Okay, down, up. Okay, so the punch comes in and up. If I'm here in a guard, right, it's fast. If I come to the side, right, it stops being a paint the fence, right? Right? You don't paint fence this way, you paint fence this way, all right? If you've never seen that, go watch Karate Kid, the first one, the real one. Not the Jackie Chan one, the Master Miyagi one. Down, up, okay? If I come to the side, I can still do a back fist, but the chances of me actually blocking it are much lower. I can watch her shoulder and see where her arm is going to go. It gives me the advantage to be able to block this. If I watch her shoulder and I do this, I have no idea where it's going to go, okay? Or she hits me again. Right? So my chance for this one is that I can hit it down. Also, if I hit this down, see how it opens her up? It makes this target stand out a lot more. Okay? Bent wrist, Japanese word is kakuto. Boom. You're going to use it like a hammer. Alright? Practice that both people, both times. Alright? Both hands, 10 times each. Alright? We'll be back with the next one. Alright, the next one is so that I can go side to side, okay? We're going to do our chicken wing block. I like this one a lot because it's kind of a big, broad, sweeping motion. Chances are good that I'll be able to block the punch even if I don't know exactly where it is, where exactly its target is, okay? So this one's going to come in, punching somewhere around my rib cage. I'm going to block across here and come in with a back fist. So it's just 1, 2, okay? Another option, and there's two good options for this. So you can practice both. If I step to the outside, I block the outside, right? So my back, or my front and her front are facing the same way, my back and her back are facing the same way. If I come here, I'm going to do probably a back fist right to the ribs. If she's a lot taller than me, I'm still doing that back fist to the ribs. If she's a lot shorter than me, back fist to the ribs. It works out great. If I come to the other side here and block across, I can do that back fist to the ribs, but sometimes what works better, especially if we're equal height or if I'm taller, is a hammer fist to the jaw, okay? That's going to do a lot more damage. It's much more likely to stop the fight right there, okay? So the punch comes in, block, hammer fist, okay? Again, I'm aiming for that little corner in your jaw right below your ear, okay? So punch, 1, 2. 10 times, both hands, both sides. And make sure it's a mix of blocking to the inside and the outside. Okay, don't just do one or the other. Make sure you're mixing it up. All right. Practice that 10 times. Each hand, each side, each partner. We'll be back with you in a second. All right. So last one we're going to do is the pop-up punch from Kuzan-ku Kata. Okay. So if you know Kuzan-ku, this is going to be real familiar. If you don't, this is one of my favorite moves. Okay. So what this one's going to be, it's going to be a punch to the solar plex. What I'm going to do is this time I'm going to pop it up. Okay, it's the same principle as this one we did at the beginning where I'm popping down. I'm going to follow her shoulder line. So when I come up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step in and pop up. Now, I got to be careful with this one. She's punching my solar plex. if I pump straight up, now I'm getting punched in the face. That's probably worse than getting punched in the solar plex. Neither of them are great, all right? Neither of them are good options. So I'm going to do this a little bit tactically, okay? Bear with me. When this punch comes, I'm going to shuffle a little bit to the corner. So now this punch is going to be punching me in the shoulder or arm. I'm okay with that. Even if I miss, if I get punched in the arm, I'll be okay, okay? So when I shuffle, I'm going to pop at the same time. What this is doing, hopefully, is putting her hand over my shoulder. Now, the reason this is important is because there's not a lot of force that she can come back with. It really has to either fold through so that she can punch or come around to do something else. Both of those are very easy to see coming, and I can start doing other things like sticking my fingers in her throat to say, no, get away from me, okay? Right? So she's here, and she starts pushing like she's going to try to grab around me. And I go, no, get away from me, right? It works great. Stick your fingers in their throat, okay? But the other thing it does is it gives me some opportunities because now I'm on her back. So if she does this punch, and I'm here, I pop, I'm going to come up underneath to punch here. This stretches her rib cage out, okay? If you don't know, your ribs are parallel, obviously, your bones, right? But there's a little bit of muscle in between them. They're called your ancillary muscles, right? They help you breathe. If you take a deep breath, you feel them stretching apart. That's what actually lets you breathe, okay? It's your ribs stretching that lets you get an even deeper breath, okay? So I'm going to take advantage of that. So I'm going to stretch them all out. Now I'm going to punch, okay? So now when they're all stretched out, now instead of being 3 ribs in this much space, now there might only be 2 ribs in this much space, right? So now when I'm hitting that, right, I stand a better chance of hitting something and doing more damage to it, okay? If you've never broken a board before, breaking one board is not super hard. It's like a hot knife through butter, right? It just goes right through. If you have broken boards before, you know that if I take one, it's not too hard. But I stack a second one on top of that, it's way harder. If I stack a third one, it's way harder, okay? Instead of being, like if you, math class, ready? Instead of being a linear graph where it just goes up by the same amount every time, it's an exponential graph. So it goes, I'll do it for you guys. It goes way up like this. Starts low and then get doubles and doubles and doubles and doubles and doubles. Okay, so that by the time you get to 10, it's really hard. Okay? You have to practice super hard for that. So, if I can stretch all those muscles out and I can hit fewer of those ribs, the chances of me actually breaking them and not just bruising them goes way up. If she has a broken rib, she's not going to be running after me and she's not going to be punching me. She's probably not going to be breathing very well. She'll be breathing, but it'll sound like this. Alright? It's not going to feel comfortable. Okay? So make sure that when you're doing that, pop that punch. Alright? And that's why I step off to the side here, so I have room to do that punch. Now, what I don't want to see is this. I'm not bringing my hand up here. Alright? That's wasting my space. I'm only bringing my hand up to my shoulder. And I'm giving that little pop, alright, to get it up there so I can do my punch. Let's work that out. Both sides, both partners, 10 times each, alright? That'll be the last one we do today. Okay, that's it for today. Just a quick couple announcements. Newsletter went out this week. If you didn't get that, make sure you let me know. I'll make sure it gets out to you. T-shirt contest. The entries are due by April 3rd, Friday at midnight. I need them in my hands. Okay, I'm going to send out an email. I'm going to send out a text. I'm going to make sure everybody knows that I need to have them in my hands. All right, because if I start getting them too late, we're not going to be able to include them in, and it's not going to be good. So if you've got one, make sure I get a copy of it. It doesn't have to be the original. If you win, I will coordinate getting the original with you. But until then, I just need something that I can put up so we can vote on it. All right. Videos. Keep sending those videos in. The goal is to have them 1 time a week. All right. So if you've been doing that, good. If you haven't been doing that, get on it because I can't help you with your stuff if you're not sending me stuff back. And then remember, we're going to be doing our Focus Mitt giveaway starting next week. So make sure you tune into these classes. Give them a watch. I'm going to give you guys some challenges. And if you do the challenge, the first 2 people who do the challenge properly and respond to me, I'll be coordinating getting some focus mitts out to you guys to help you with your training at home. All right. So make sure you guys are paying attention to that. If you got any questions, don't hesitate to email me, text me, whatever. I'm happy to answer whatever you got. I love teaching and I miss doing this in front of you guys. So I'll take what I can get. We're still working on getting a Zoom thing up and running. The biggest hurdle for me is being able to record the whole thing. The other hurdle is that it can only be 45 minutes long if you don't have a paid account. So we're just working through some stuff. Sifu and I are on it. So other than that, I got nothing. You guys are dismissed. Great job today. Us.